The ice wind howled across the barren surface of Theta 7 like a chorus of dying stars. Molly pressed herself against the jagged outcrop of frozen rock, her forearms wrapped tightly around Whisper, her small crystalline companion. The creature's usual soft luminescence had dimmed to barely a flicker, matching the fading hope in Molly's twin hearts. Her exploration vessel had crashed 3 cycles ago. The distress beacon was destroyed on impact. No rescue would come, not in time, not ever. The Xanthari were a proud species, explorers of 1,000 worlds, but even their advanced biology couldn't withstand Theta 7's killing cold indefinitely. Molly could feel the frost creeping through her exoskeleton, slowing her thoughts, numbing her limbs. "I'm sorry, little one," she whispered to Whisper, her voice crackling through frozen vocal cords. The pet chirped weakly, its faceted body trying desperately to generate warmth for its dying companion. Molly closed her primary eyes, keeping only her thermal sensing secondary pair open to watch the beautiful, terrible landscape one last time. The twin moons cast purple shadows across fields of methane ice. It was a good place to die, she supposed, peaceful, silent. Then something impossible appeared on the horizon. A figure, walking. No environmental suit, no visible technology, just walking through the storm as if it were a mild spring day. Molly's dying mind convinced her it was a hallucination. Nothing could survive out here without protection. She'd seen the temperature readings before her equipment failed. -200 degrees, winds that could strip flesh from bone, if anything had flesh to strip. But the figure kept coming closer. As it approached, Molly's thermal vision revealed something extraordinary. The creature, it had to be a creature, was generating heat. Massive amounts of it. Its body glowed like a small star against the frozen wasteland, steam rising from its exposed skin in great billowing clouds. The figure stopped a few meters away, and Molly got her first clear look at it through her fading consciousness. It was bipedal, standing upright on 2 legs. It had only 2 arms, 2 eyes, no exoskeleton. Its body was covered in some kind of flexible outer layer, clothing Molly's xenobiology training supplied weekly, and it wore a pack on its back. Most shocking of all, patches of its face were completely exposed to the lethal atmosphere, showing smooth, dark skin that somehow wasn't freezing solid. "Hey there," the creature said, its voice deep and warm. "Looks like you could use some help." Molly tried to respond, but her vocal cords had frozen completely. She could only stare as the creature, the human, some part of her mind supplied, remembering legends from the galactic database, knelt beside her. "Don't try to talk," the human said, shrugging off his pack. "I'm Basit. I'm a surveyor for the Terran Exploration Corps. Been mapping this moon for the past week. Picked up some weird heat signatures from your crash site yesterday." Bassett pulled out a compact device that began emitting blessed warmth. Molly felt it immediately, her body greedily absorbing the thermal energy. Whisper's glow strengthened slightly, chirping with desperate gratitude. "There we go," Bassett said, his breath visible in great white plumes. "This'll stabilize you until we can get you back to my shelter. It's only about 1 kilometer from here." Molly's mind reeled. 1 kilometer. This human had walked 1 kilometer through conditions that would kill most species in minutes. And his shelter? He'd been living here? For a week? As if reading her thoughts, Bassett chuckled. I know. Most species think we're crazy for doing this kind of work. But humans evolved on a death world. We're persistence hunters. We can regulate our body temperature across a pretty extreme range. Plus, I've got some good gear." He gently scooped Molly into his arms, cradling her and Whisper against his chest. The heat radiating from his body was intense, like being near a small furnace. Molly could feel her systems beginning to restart, sluggish, but functional. "Your little friend's pretty cute," Basit said, starting the trek back to his shelter. "Crystalline silicon-based life form, if I'm not mistaken. They're rare. You're lucky to have found one that bonded with you." The journey was a blur of warmth and confused awareness for Molly. She registered Basit moving steadily through the storm, apparently unbothered by conditions that had nearly killed her. He talked the entire way, his voice a comforting rumble against her body. You Zenthari are pretty tough yourselves, he said. Most species would have been dead within an hour of exposure. You lasted 3 days. That's impressive. When they reached his shelter, a surprisingly sophisticated underground habitat carved into the ice, Basit laid Molly gently on a heated platform and began tending to her injuries with practiced efficiency. The rescue beacon's already sent, he explained as he worked. Your people should be here within a cycle. Until then, you're welcome to my home. As warmth and life flowed back into Molly's body, she finally managed to rasp out a single word. Why? Basit looked up from adjusting Whisper's warming chamber, his brown eyes meeting hers with genuine confusion. Why what? Why? Save. Us? The human's face broke into a wide smile, showing flat teeth that somehow seemed friendly rather than threatening. Because you needed help. Because that's what humans do. We see someone in trouble, we help. Doesn't matter if they're human Zenthari or a glowing space hamster. Life's too precious to let die when you can prevent it. He returned to his work, humming some melody from his homeworld. Molly watched him move around the shelter with easy confidence. This impossible creature that lived on death worlds and walked through killing cold to save strangers. The galaxy called humans many things: crazy, reckless, stubborn, aggressive. But as Molly felt life returning to her body, as she watched Basit carefully feed Whisper some kind of energy supplement, she understood the truth. Humans were hope personified. They were the species that looked at impossible odds and said, "Watch me." They were the ones who walked through hell itself to pull someone out. And Molly would never forget the day a human named Basit had appeared like a warm star in the frozen darkness, refusing to let her and her beloved pet become just another statistic in the void. She closed her eyes and let herself rest, finally safe, finally warm, finally alive, thanks to humanity's inexplicable, wonderful stubbornness in the face of death itself.